Hey everybody, Pastor Sarah Ritchie here. Today is March the 18th, and I have the privilege to be the minister of First Christian Church in San Bernardino, California. It's good to be with you all. So, what I want to share with you today is so important to me that I had to write it down, so you will forgive me if I look at my notes a wee bit, okay? So, racism is a system. In our country it is, and I have benefited from this system in a myriad of ways, all because of the color of my skin. Our system is skewed in favor of white people, from housing to health care to interactions with the court system, police officers, technology to voting. It's all skewed in favor of people who look like me, who are white. The deck is just kind of stacked systematically against people of color. That's what racism is. Prejudice, on the other hand, now that's a little different. So, with prejudice, anyone can be prejudiced toward anyone else. I mean, someone who benefits from racist systems can be prejudiced or maybe not. Someone who doesn't benefit from racist systems can also be prejudiced against other people based upon race or whatever the category may be, sexuality, and so on. Regardless, it seems that when it comes to racism in the United States of America, white supremacy, those folks are both prejudiced and benefiting from a racist system. And they're scared to death that the system that has propped up their privilege is going to disappear. And so they react violently, cruelly. They use voter suppression. They try to use the courts and, of course, legislation. But when they don't get their way, they use physical violence toward people of color or to try to break the system down. I want you all to consider the attack that occurred most recently in Georgia against Asian women. Now look, we've been hearing about it for a while now in the news, that Asian people have been attacked all over the country, in large part because of rhetoric that was piled on about the coronavirus, which was untrue and unfair, but nonetheless it was used as a foil to prop up a racist system. So these women were attacked by a white perpetrator who admits that he murdered them, but he likes to claim that he has an addiction and that's why he did the crimes. The sad thing to me is not that he makes such a defense, because I think he's going to do what he has to do to try to protect himself. Whether I think it's a good thing or not, that's just what he's going to do. But what is painful is that the police who came on to report what he said reported almost word for word what he said, as if it were the truth. They forgot to mention the part that he had confessed to murdering these women. That's what white supremacy does to us. Imagine the pain that our Asian brothers and sisters are feeling right now. I can't even imagine, or what it's like for any person of color in the United States of America. But what I do know is that white supremacy has to go. And people who look like me, I appeal to you to be proactive. And so this is what I want you to do. Number one, I think that white people of faith, and white people who are Christian in particular, need to listen very carefully to what our brothers and sisters are trying to tell us who don't look like us. We need to listen, ask questions, and seek clarification. And then we need to take bolder steps and actions to dismantle white supremacy in the United States of America. See, we're not just called to denounce white supremacy, but to also walk away from our assumptions that white is always right, to take away the privileges that we received simply because of the color of our skin. Don't be afraid. Listen. Be fair. And step away from our addiction to living off of the fat of white supremacy. It's time for a change. It's time. So, that's my message for you today. It is the season of Lent. How about, instead of giving up chocolate or ice cream or desserts or whatever for Lent, we all give up white supremacy and we take on the hard work to create new systems that are fair and equitable for a better union. Thanks for listening. Bye.